Now this first tip to packing light seems obvious, but it seems everybody forgets to do it. Seriously, nail this one thing and you can reduce the weight of the luggage you're taking by like 50%. Or you can show up prepared and not freeze your ass off. So if it's not obvious, gents, what I'm talking about here is checking the weather.
Oh, it's awfully dark and gloomy up there.
So a while back, my sister from California came out here to Wisconsin and expected it to be freezing cold. So accordingly, she packed an entire extra bag of warm clothing. Well, as you can probably guess, when she showed up, we were having above average temperatures. And in fact, she didn't even break into that piece of luggage that she paid like an extra $75 for. All right, gents, to be clear, if you want to travel light, this is not how you pack a bag. Seriously, grabbing everything in your closet and throwing it into your bag is a recipe for disaster. No, there's a much better way to do this, and that leads us to the next tip, which is to plan out your outfits for the entire trip. Most people, when they pack, they just throw in clothing they think looks good, that they're going to use, that they're somehow going to wear. Instead, actually go through and look at the shirts, look at the trousers, look at the jackets, look at everything you're going to wear, and put it together in an outfit before you even leave. Now, gents, this is a really powerful concept for two reasons. One, you're only going to bring clothing that you're actually going to wear. So you're not going to pack things that you don't need. Second, you can go through and you can see which items can I wear multiple times. You're going to be able to identify, you know what, this pair of trousers is going to work with multiple shirts. I only have to take 2 pair of trousers for a 4-day trip. You can just simply switch them out. So again, you're going to take less clothing. Now, how to specifically choose which items to take? Well, guys, I'm going to cover that here in a few minutes when I talk about color blocking. Now, gents, if you're enjoying today's video, do me a favor and smash that like button. Seriously, legend says when you hit that like button, you're more likely to get an upgrade next time you travel. All right, so I got no data backing up that last point, but I'd like to think if you're subscribed to the Real Minute Real Style channel, you're dressing sharp, you're on your way to being more successful, you are on your way to flying first class. The next tip to traveling light is to choose the right bag. If you want to travel lighter, then choose a smaller bag. Again, this one sounds obvious, but so many people choose a bag bigger than what they need. So guess what? They find a way to fill it with things they don't need. Now, personally, I find I don't need anything more than a simple carry-on, even when I'm traveling for up to 6 weeks. Seriously, here's me traveling to Europe for 6 weeks, and you can see I just have one simple carry-on with everything I need inside of it. And if I'm just traveling for the weekend or a couple days during the week, I take a weekender, a bag designed specifically for those shorter trips. Now, speaking of bags, let me show you this beautiful piece of luggage from today's sponsor, Carl Friedrich. Now, gents, this is their new Carry-On Pro, and I got to tell you, this is now my favorite piece of luggage in my collection. Now, you guys probably know for years I've been talking about Carl Friedrich because I love what these guys do. Quality craftsmanship, beautiful design, at a price that, yes, is not cheap, but is easily some of the best on the market for the quality you get. So for 3 years now, I've been using the classic carry-on from Carl Friedrich, and I've used this to travel all over the world for both business and pleasure. They are beautiful pieces of luggage that are durable, well-made, and what I love about this new Carry-On Pro is it's even better. So what they did with the Carry-On Pro is they kept all the best features of the original Carry-On, but they made it even more functional. They did this by adding an external hard shell pocket. Basically, it makes it so that your laptop and your essential gear, documents, any paperwork that you need to be able to grab, you can do it easily and it secures it. So basically you zip this thing right back up, nothing's going to come out, but you have easy access to the things you need when you're traveling. They did all this while keeping that very durable aluminum frame. They use a polycarbonate around it, so it's very lightweight. It's got a little bit of give, but this is not going to bend. It's not going to break. This is an incredibly tough suitcase that looks amazing. Seriously, details like the Japanese Hinomoto spinning wheels, these are silent wheels that are incredibly smooth. When you're going through the airport, you just notice, wow, they don't catch on anything. It moves like butter. The Carry-On Pro also gives you the option to connect a power bank. You've got the TSA approved locks, really smooth, just really a nice connection right there. This thing, again, is built like a tank, but designed like a Ferrari. Like I said, guys, Carl Friedrich is not cheap, but I think they're the best value out there when it comes to quality, construction, and getting a bag, getting a piece of luggage, getting a wallet that is going to last you a lifetime. That's why they've got a lifetime warranty and a 100-day trial period. Seriously, you know a company is doing something amazing when they let you try the product risk-free for 100 days. You can get a full refund, but they know once you get this in your hands that you're going to become addicted to it and you're going to go buy a whole bunch of bags and wallets because, guys, their stuff, just amazing quality. Now, gents, I'm putting a link down in the description of today's video. If you want to get the best deal on the planet when it comes to Carl Friedrich, use that link, go over to the website. Again, one of my favorite companies when it comes to quality, when it comes to build, when it comes to design. Use that link in the description of today's video to get the best deal on the web. Next tip to travel light, search your bag for stowaways before you pack. What am I talking about? So one of my bags has a hidden pocket and I had packed a whole bunch of coins. Was going to an event and I knew I'd meet up with people that followed the channel. I put like 10 of them in there. Well, guess what? That weighed like half a pound and I took 3 trips forgetting those coins were hidden in there. Guys, it adds up. So make sure to go through your bag, make sure there's nothing in there that, yeah, you don't need to take on this trip. And by the way, if you'd like a Real Men Real Style Challenge coin, in the comments down below, let me know the tips and tricks that I missed that you have on how to travel light. I want to hear from you down below after you watch this video. The next tip to traveling light is to choose your shoes carefully. Easily one of the bulkiest and heaviest items that you'll be carrying are shoes. And if you take too many, it's going to add up in weight very quickly. Do you need to bring the running shoes? Unless you run every day, maybe it's time you could wear something a little bit more casual. You could wear this into the gym and focus in on weights. Skip the cardio for a couple days. When it comes to your everyday shoe, can you go with something that's incredibly versatile? Something you can dress up, something you can dress down. Yes, it's not going to have any laces, which make it easy when you're going through security and just want to be able to slip it off. A loafer not dressy enough for you? Then check out the Chelsea boot. One of my favorite types of styles. Again, slips on and off and a simple, clean, go with a dark leather. This right here, a very dressy boot that you can wear even with a suit. But does that logic apply when you're dressing casually? I'd say it does, because this right here, these loafers, perforated. So they're going to be very breathable. They're going to be as comfortable as sandals, and they're going to look a lot dressier. So you can wear these with slacks, maybe with a t-shirt, with shorts. Yes, it can be worn and it looks good. Now let's jump over to color blocking. I alluded to it whenever I talked about going through and putting your outfits together. But color blocking is a deeper concept within the interchangeable wardrobe. Now, the interchangeable wardrobe I've talked about many times here on the channel, but that's the idea that you can own less and get more outfits if everything matches. So if you have 4 pairs of shoes, if you have 4 shirts, if you have 4 pairs of trousers, and you have 4 jackets, 16 pieces of clothing. But if they're 100% interchangeable, you have a total of 256 outfits. Now, how is this powerful and where does color blocking work in? Well, for my shirts, I choose colors which I know simply look good on me and are going to be very easy to match. So I'll bring in whites, I've got grays, but usually I'm going to stick with blues, whether it even be a t-shirt. I have a gray t-shirt here. Occasionally I'll bring in a black, but you guys know I love blue shirts, especially with collars. Here I've got a short sleeve polo or I've got a long sleeve, but I can also go with lighter colors. I can even go with combinations, patterns like this. They're going to make it a little bit more complex. Then I color block my trousers. I can go with the 2 main colors in my trousers. I've got variations of grays, depending on also the surface. I can go with a napped weave like this in a flannel or a flat surface. I also go with browns. This one right here, a khaki, but you can go with a darker brown, you can go with lighter brown. They're all browns, and what's great about that is they're gonna look great with blues. Now, what about blue trousers? I really don't wear trousers, but I do bring in denim when it comes to blues. This is such an easy color. It's just universally accepted. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. And again, it works with any of the shirts here. Now, when it comes to color blocking my jackets, and when I say jackets, I'm going to include hoodies. I'm going to have sweaters. I'm going to have suede jackets. I'm going to have windproof jackets. I'm going to have leather jackets. You know, we've got all different types of sports jackets here. I like to have a little bit more fun. So I will bring in green. I bring in maroon. The average guy, though, he can keep it really simple. Just go with a blue jacket. What I love about this is it's interchangeable. It's going to work with all these items here. You know, bring it in with these trousers or dress it up with a darker gray. Blue and gray work perfectly fine. Bring it in with any of these shirts. You want to dress it up with this one. You can even wear a t-shirt if you got a little bit of confidence and you know what you're doing. But gray is also a great option for a jacket. Again, a guy maybe just getting started off. But if you want to have a little bit more fun, you guys have seen me in many of my videos bringing in this maroon suede jacket. I love it because I can wear it with a t-shirt. I can wear it with a button down. It looks really good. This right here. We've got a simple sweater, but the color is what's going to make it stand apart. That being said, the best sweater, the most versatile one I think a guy can start with, again, is going to be gray, a V-neck. It slips on. You can even wear a t-shirt underneath this, and it's going to dress up the whole look if you're wearing this with jeans, even with hoodies. Here, this mint green, not so much interchangeable, but again, it sticks with the colors that I like to keep here for me: greens, blues, grays, and occasionally a maroon if I'm having fun. Now, really quick, let's talk about style. The best advice I can give you here, go classic. classic that's not going anywhere. Both of these jackets, classic, got a lot of pockets. The design's actually similar, but the colors and the materials very different. Again, depends on the weather, depends on where you're going. This one here for colder weather, made from a wool, going to be very tough, durable, warm. It's going to be pretty resistant to weather, to wind. This one right here, specifically very lightweight. Going to be great if you just have a bit of a wind, but maybe you're going to an area that has a little bit of rain. This is going to be nice to be able to layer both of these, and I would wear these if I'm traveling. Again, a little bit heavier, bulkier. I'd wear these on the plane, but when it comes down to it, either one of these pieces is going to be great to add on to all the pieces I just talked about. Now, that color blocking advice also applies to footwear. Keep it simple. Go with one color, change up the styles, but one color is going to make sure that it works with everything in your wardrobe. And it doesn't have to be boring. One of my favorite colors I think is really underutilized, oxblood. It's a maroonish, reddish color, and it works great with black. It works great with lighter colors. You can really do a lot with this one. That being said, my go-to color is brown. I just simply like the shade. It works with a lot of my trousers, and I like the way it just makes the shoes pop, gives them a bit more contrast versus just going black. That being said here, the key is versatility. Look, is this going to work with the outfits I'm packing? And those are the shoes you want to take. Now, for this next part of the video, I'm going to call this the Traveling Light Lightning Round, a bunch of quick hacks that you can use to travel lighter. Never pack shaving cream in a pressurized can. This is an accident waiting to happen. Instead, travel with a shaving cream that's not under pressure. Or better yet, pack a shaving soap. Now, the difference between shaving soap and regular soap is usually going to be the amount of glycerin. That's going to make it very slick, and it's going to enable the razor to go across the skin without nicking you. That being said, if you are taking shaving cream that's not in a pressurized container, make sure to use saran wrap or plastic to seal up the top of the container. Just take the lid right off, put the plastic on, then seal it again. This is going to make sure it doesn't leak in your bag. And speaking of fluids, never travel with a big bottle of cologne. Now, instead, grab one of these little travel sprayers. What I love about these is they can be easily filled up. They got a little opening at the bottom. Put about 8 ml in there. That is going to be good for 2 to 3 weeks. And speaking of travel sizes, in your grooming kit, this is one of the biggest areas where you can save weight. When it comes to your toothpaste, go with a travel size. When it comes to your hair product, go with the travel size. Just look around. They sell these in stores all over the place. Yes, you're not getting as much product for your money, but it is something when it comes to travel and convenience, it's perfect. And if your favorite brand doesn't make it in a travel size, then you can make your own. Grab these Go Tubes. These are small containers. They're going to seal really well. And again, you just put enough in there for your trip. And another quick hack here, if you go into a store that sells all of these products, ask for samples. They don't always have them, but when they do, especially when it comes to fragrances, you get 2 ml, 5 ml here or there. This is more than enough for a few days, sometimes even a full week. Now, I know some of you guys are saying, come on, Antonio, I got a great looking Dopp kit. I want to fill this thing up. Remember what we talked about at the beginning of this video. You will fill things up if you got a big bag. So I recommend that, yes, it's nice to have that Dopp kit, but just go with that simple quart plastic bag, and the goal is not to fill this thing up. The goal is to travel light. And gents, this stuff adds up. Look at the difference right here between all of the full size versus the travel size. We're talking a 3-pound difference. Now, what about all your grooming tools? We're talking nose hair trimmers, nail clippers, nail files, nail scissors. Do you need to take all this stuff? Well, I think if the trip is under 10 days, don't worry about it. Instead, do all of that maintenance right before you leave, and when you come back, you'll just be able to take care of it, but you don't need to take those tools with you unless you're going out for more than a couple weeks. Now, this next part of the video may be the most contentious part, and that is my opinion on the difference between rolling your clothing and folding your clothing when it goes to putting it in your bag. And honestly, I don't think that there's much of a difference. Some people are going to argue that rolling prevents wrinkles. I haven't seen that in my time. Folding also creates wrinkles. The worst thing you can do is just bunch your clothing and stuff it in there. That's going to create the most wrinkles. But I always try to give myself time when I travel to arrive a bit early and just lay out all my clothing and iron it or press it or at least run it by a steamer to get rid of the wrinkles. If I had to make the case for anything, I would say place and fold your clothing in a way that it's going to fit strategically in your bag. That's the biggest issue with packing, is that people have these really fully packed spots like the middle of the bag, and then over on the sides, it's loosely packed. Basically, there's a lot of excess air. And that's why whether you're going to fold, whether you're going to roll, what you want to look for, treat it like a game of Tetris. You want to make sure that you're using every bit of dead space in that bag to put something in it. So on the inside of your shoes, yeah, that's where you're maybe rolling an undershirt, you're putting some underwear in there, you're putting a sock, you're filling every dead space with something. That's how you're going to be able to maximize the space in the bag. And when I say fold to fit, I mean that don't fold your jacket and then try to place it in your bag. Look at the size of your bag and then fold the jacket pretty much in the bag. Why are you doing this? So it fully uses all the space and it has as few creases as possible. Now at this point in the video, let's talk about some clothing that you should probably leave at home. There's nothing wrong with these pieces. It's just they're not going to be as functional. They're not going to be as versatile. So first up, do you need to have duplicate pieces? No, I'd say just simply wear the item, 2 to 3 times on the trip. Maybe find a place to do laundry. If it doesn't smell too bad or you wear an undershirt, I just find that these shirts, there's no reason to take 2 of the same thing. Let's also talk about light colored clothing. Light colored shirts, I try not to travel with them. If I've got a very formal event, I will take one, but you've really got to be careful with these. It's so easy to stain and get these dirty, and I just don't find that you can get the same type of wear you can out of a dark colored shirt. And the same logic applies to bright colored shirts, to loud patterned clothing. Why don't you want to pack this? Well, it's hard to wear this basically twice in a period of just a few days without people noticing it, and that's why, in my opinion, it's just not as interchangeable. Again, a great piece to have at home to stand out, but this isn't something, if you had to, you wouldn't want to wear this 2 days in a row, but you could with a darker colored shirt. Another great way to save room, to save weight, especially if you're traveling internationally, is to go with an adapter that just basically can do everything. What I love about this one, it's not only an adapter if I'm going to be traveling abroad, needing, a different type of connector, but it's also got USB, it's got USB-C ports right here, just really makes it easy to be able to plug and charge anything. That being said, as you guys know, I've got a large family, so I used to have to take tons of these adapters, but now I realize, you know what, I can just take a power strip and boom, everyone's taken care of with just 1 or 2 adapters in my entire family. All right, Jen, so what video to watch next? How about 5 accessories that men should never go cheap on? Seriously, if you are cutting corners on these accessories, you are doing it wrong. What am I talking about? Find out, gents, in this video right here, and I'll link to it down in the description below. So yeah, go watch it. It's a good one.